What is up, guys? We are back, and time for a little refresher. All these videos, we're gonna throw them all together, so skip ahead quite a bit of time. Blocks in the back of the truck. We've got, just so you guys can get a feeling for kind of how big this unit is. I don't know how well you'll be able to see this. It is a 10 by 22, so the first gen should fit in here with ease, according to all my measurements. I'm going to set the engines down on those for right now. You can see there's a little bit of a gap on each side, or a little bit sticking out on each side. So that makes it an 8 foot wide opening doorway. The first gen is about just under 7 foot wide. So should have some room to spare on each side backing this thing in here, but we will see. But we're going to finish assembling our cherry picker, or shop crane, whatever you want to call it, from Harbor Freight. I gotta connect the bars, I gotta loosen up some bolts, connect these bars, tighten it all down, just get a good wrench on everything, tighten everything down, and then we're gonna put our engine stand together, and then we're gonna unload both blocks with the shop crane. And yeah, that should pretty much sum it up. I don't think I have anything else as far as news. The OBS is serving me well. It's back on the road, back running just like it used to. Yeah, we're trying to move some stuff along now that we got all of our stuff back. The ball, let's see if we face this way. The ball is now in our court. We had been waiting on an engine. We were relying on other people to get stuff done so we could keep continuing with the first gen. The ball is now in our court. Now I have no excuses. Now it's time to thrash, get some stuff done. I'm not gonna rush it. Obviously, we're already into November. There's no point in me rushing it. We're gonna do it right, but we're gonna keep, hopefully steadily knock stuff out, steadily get you guys first gen content, just like a lot of you been asking me. I miss it too, I'm sorry. But we'll get back into the swing of things. We'll start knocking stuff out and make some hopefully a pretty good looking engine. And gonna have you guys assist me with color choice and stuff like that, just because I like to hear your guys' opinion. You always got good opinions, good input, and I do appreciate that. So let's go ahead, get this knocked out real quick, and then get our little engine stand in here. We'll throw that together real quick. Then I'm going to attempt, which I'm probably gonna put you guys at the back of the unit, and I'm gonna attempt to back the OBS up in here as far as I can get it, and then we're going to use our shop crane, cherry picker, whatever you want to call it, to get the blocks out of the bed and just get them in here safely and set them down onto our little rollers. And then from there we will take the one that we're going to be building and pick it up with the shop crane and mount it up on our engine stand. And it does have one other thing, is it's pretty flat in here until the back, like, I would say right in here somewhere, right in here. So going across, I don't know how many feet back that is, but you can kind of almost see it in the door right there, or in the wall. About right there, it starts to slope down. So whatever I do, I'm gonna have wheel chocks. I want some assistance with you guys on how to set this thing up. I'm gonna make it as shop storage unit oriented as possible. I'm probably going to end up buying a generator, and most nights I will put the generator outside, run an electrical cord in, and have lighting set up to where we can work on the first gen, work on the engine, and get stuff done. You can see there's a little bit of stuff going around the corners to keep it sealed up. This is as good as I could get. I've been trying for 2 months to get a storage unit, so this is your guys' first eyes on it. I would love to have a shop, but again, you guys know what I do. I travel all around working, so this is what I can do for right now. Alright guys, so we had some luck, and that was it looks pretty wide between here, but that was tight, and I'm curious how the hell I'm gonna get out of here. But we got the OBS backed up halfway in here, and surprisingly, I think, yeah, I could definitely park this truck in here if I wanted to, but obviously we're not. But this does give me some hope for how nice the first gen's gonna fit in here, because there's still room to walk around both sides, and if I got it all the way to the back, there would be lots of room to do stuff. But now for the main event here, I got it backed up in here. We're gonna thread some head bolts into the block, pick this bad boy up, set it down on one of these for now, because if you guys remember, or depending on how long you guys have been around and been following the 89, you'll know that we had to drill these out on our other one of these stands at the house, which I might just grab mine one from the house and do it, or use Cole's because he's got one too. I currently don't have my drill with me. I'd have to do it at work, and you really need to be here whenever you do it. So yeah, I had to drill all these out to accept a bigger bolt because the bolt holes are bigger than these slots, obviously, so the engine can sit sideways and not so it'd be sitting horizontal instead of vertically out, because I feel like that would snap some shit. If you ask me, you can get a heavier one rated so it can stick straight out, but I don't have one, so I've got what I got to work with, and we're gonna make do, and I'm gonna show you guys how to put an engine together in a storage unit. So let's get after it. Let's hook this shit up and get going. All right, guys, we've got everything out of the back of the OBS. Thank God. We got, so let's break down what went happen, because you guys expect me to have, like, there's 2 blocks here. You guys expect me to just have 1 block and get it done fast. So this block is too loose to be basically on the street. Like, it is, this piston to wall is big enough that this would be good for a pulling truck, and that is it. It is a very large piston to wall clearance, it's about 13 thousandths is what it is, piston to wall. And everybody I've talked to said, hey, that is optimal pulling truck. That's exactly what we set our pulling trucks up like. So save that engine. It's got 14 millimeter mains. Like, that's a good engine with it being that big as far as piston to wall clearance. And this is 6 thousandths piston to wall. So we got 6 versus 13. So this will be a purpose built pulling truck engine. And obviously we don't have anything for it to go in. I'm not concerned about it right now. We're going to keep it oiled down, and we're going to wrap it up better, just for the time being, because I would really like to do something with it eventually. If you guys know, pulling kind of it's starting to run in my family. I've been obsessed with it ever since I was little. We now have a pulling tractor, and I would love to have a pulling truck one day, and I'm going to save this for that. This is the engine for the 89, and let me tell you, under here, it looks beautiful. We got 1 piston in, and that's obviously because they measured piston to valve clearance and got it where we wanted it. And yeah, the crank is in, and 1 piston and rod are in. So somewhat of a pre-assembly just for measurements purposes. I'm going to go ahead and check that piston to valve as well. We'll set the head on, because I would really like to know. They didn't tell me. I'm going to try and get a hold of them tomorrow morning and have them shoot me over what all the measurements were, because I kind of expect that after spending the amount of money that we did. The head is right here. It's screwed down right now. I'm not going to get it out. I will whenever we get back. We're going to go get some, Cole just said to grab some automatic transmission fluid and kind of soak what we've got, just so it's covered up, it's good. We don't have to worry about it rusting, any of the bores, nothing like that. So we're gonna oil it all down, head, both blocks, because like I said, this block still has a good chunk of money in it. I would love to do something with it. We're gonna keep it around. Yes, it's just a 5.9 right now. If I do anything with it, I will probably put a 6.7 crank in it, with it being bored 40 over, and it would be a fun, let's see, that would make it see, if you put a 6.7 crank in it, that brings it to a 6.1, I believe, and then, so it'd be a 6.2 basically, with being bored 40 over, because this right now is a 6.0, so this is a 6-liter Cummins, kind of funny, but that's what it is, because it only adds that little bit. Then we'll take this off so you guys can see how pretty the head looks. It looks phenomenal. As you guys know, Perkins Diesel over in, let me put my hat back on. Perkins Diesel over in Stratford, Missouri is the ones who finished up the block and the head. They gave me my firing head gasket, all that stuff. So we're good to go as far as all this goes, and I appreciate them getting it done and everything. So yeah, we're gonna go get some transmission fluid, throw some of this stuff away because we don't need it. close this place up. Probably gonna run back over here. The 89 is only like 40 yards away, so I'm gonna get some stuff out of it and probably put it in here. So yeah, we're not gonna be able to move the 89 in here today. It's just me. Obviously I need another person at least to get that thing in here. So that should be interesting whenever the time comes. I believe Cole's gonna be helping me. It's gonna be a struggle, but we'll probably pull it behind like probably his truck or my truck and pull it over here, and then we will push it into the bay, figure out how we want to set everything up, all that good stuff. But I will show you guys more of the engine and the head whenever we go get some transmission fluid. We are back over here at the storage unit. I had to go back home, get some stuff, and now we're back. So what we're doing, and I will show you guys the goods. Just like I said earlier, we are kind of prepping this stuff to be exposed. Well, basically any freshly machined service, you want to always put something on it. Some say that Marvel Mystery Oil. A lot of people say just throw some ATF on it. There's obviously lots of different options, opinions, reasons for what people choose, and that's perfectly fine. But I went ahead and just chose some ATF. All we did was kind of put it on the machine surfaces, get it down in the bores good, get it on the crank, so we won't see any corrosion of any sort on any of those parts. So obviously I'm not going to mess with the outside of the block. I'm going to get like a small wire wheel, clean up the outside of the block before we paint it, and then obviously I'm going to go through with little wire deal on a Milwaukee basically, and go through every single one of these holes, ports, you name it. I'm going to do it all, because why would you not whenever it's all the way apart? It just really wouldn't make any sense to not do that. So that's what we're gonna do. I should have all that stuff sometime like midweek, I would say, and we'll try and clean up all this stuff, tape everything off and whatnot so we can paint it. Obviously I don't know if I will do that until we kind of have everything else lined out, but I do need to get something on the outside of the block so it doesn't rust any more than it already has. But more importantly, the machine surfaces was what I was worried about, and they do look fine. I'm going to spin the crank and get the full, or everything in this bore covered. I'm going to go get a screwdriver, and we will take screws off the top of the box to open up and look at the head. Okay, so back to where we were. We got the box opened up. My Hamilton head over here. We got some ATF put on the mating side to the block. I did put some on this side, but the top side needs wired wheeled very badly, obviously. So we're gonna, well, I don't think I'm gonna wire wheel it. I'm probably just gonna get like a Scotch-Brite pad and clean it up and get some brake clean. And I've done it before with like old 2-cylinder John Deere stuff, and it seems to work. So we'll try the same method with this. Should work just fine. We'll get the mating surfaces cleaned up so our nice Keating billet valve cover sits right on there how we want it to, and don't have any issues. But yeah, so we got this block done and the head that goes on it done. Yeah, I mean, I think that's all. Well, not all I'm going to do. I'm going to wrap this, pick it up, wrap it up, put some ATF on a couple more spots, and then we're going to bring this block over and do the same to it, and then rewrap it. So I got some more trash bags over here, so I'm going to rewrap this in the engine bag, and then put a trash bag over it again. I'm just doing this because I think this weekend me and Cole are going to try and start doing some engine assembly, but this will hold us over for the meantime and keep everything safe. Alright guys, welcome back. We are out here with the first gen. I did not record the somewhat could have been comical part. As you can see, Cole's first gen right here in the background. So obviously he's here helping us out. Definitely helped us out moving the first gen in, because that was a chore in itself. So we hooked it up to the OBS and kind of pulled it around and put a tire on the back of the OBS so whenever it hit, to slow it down, because we don't have any brakes. So I cut the brake lines back whenever I shortened the frame. But we're now seeing what kind of room we got to work with in here. And the first gen is all the way to the front of the storage unit, which obviously it's kind of hard for you guys to see. Yeah, we're all the way to the front. We end up having to put the slicks on the front because the 4th gen stocks would not clear the front ball joint. So we did that. First gen's all the way to the front of the unit, and we probably got I don't know, what is this, maybe 5 feet in the back to work with. So we're gonna do what we can. We're gonna get it on the stand. We were going through parts, taking an inventory last night, and the rod bearings are nowhere to be seen. So that's fairly concerning. I don't know where they would be. Whenever I sent the engine to Perkins, they were in that box, and we pulled out and we found the box, but the caps were not in, or the rod bearings were not in there. So it's a little bit worried about that. So hopefully this week I can find them, and if not, I'll just buy new ones. It is what it is, but that's what's going to be holding us up as of now to get the short block together. But yeah, so we're going to try and get some stuff done today. We got the 1st gen moved, which is a win in itself to get it in the storage unit, and that'll help me be able to work on it a little bit. But yeah, we're gonna attempt to get this thing on the stand. Cole's got his adapter that he made, because he's done some 12 valves, done some 24 or common rail stuff, and this is the adapter that he made to bolt onto the stand. So it spaces it out away from the stand, so you can at least I don't know, have some room to work on this side of the block, because we're going to bolt it up to the side of the block. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. We're going to have to use the cherry picker to get it up there, because obviously the crank's in it and it's a heavy motherfucker. So let's get after it. Okay, so we're gonna do an outro for the most part. We got the engine on the stand, as you guys saw. Put some of these top rings in here, started measuring ring gap. They are all ranging from about 17 thou to 20 thou on the big end. There's 2 of them that are 20. So I'm gonna do a little bit more research and figure out where I need to be. I've had some people talk to me that are big race guys, and they do 35 thousandths on the top, 25 in the middle, and then the control ring stays factory at 14 thou. Which I'll leave the oil control ring alone. But these top 2, I'm going to do a little more research, find out what is absolutely best for my application before I just dive in. I'm probably going to send it around the 25 to 28 thousandths for the top ring, but I'm also reading that people do 25, we'll do 25 to 28 on the top, but then on the second ring, they'll bump up to like 35. So instead of going down, they go up, which I'm trying to figure that out. Obviously, I'm new to this specifically. It's not like we've done this exact really build before. I've messed around with other engines and stuff, but not like this. Not for the application that this thing's gonna be used for. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's gonna see a lot of heat. It's obvious it's gonna see nitrous. It's gonna see some stuff that makes me think I need to get a little bit more gap for more heat. But I'm gonna ask around a couple people, and then this afternoon I'm just gonna sit on my laptop and do some research and see what I can find, because I wanna start out with some good information before I ask any questions, because I kind of want to get just an idea of what I'm gonna do, and then ask questions as to I'm gonna do with it. Go this. Will this be my best option? Will it yield the best idle? Like, am I gonna see them very much blow by? I want to ask those questions, not the, hey, what ring gap do I run and why, and ask them for all the answers. I want to have some of the answers myself before I go asking anybody anything. So I want to make them realize that I've kind of tried to do my research, and I've made an effort to find some information. So we'll give a quick rundown over some things. Some of you guys might want to know some, but some of you might not. So we're going to put this thing together in a storage unit. This is the only freaking storage unit I could find in Paris, Texas. And we ended up getting one. It's a 10 by 22, like I have stated before. It's kind of skinny. We're gonna get the welds. We're gonna get the welds swapped around once I get my other tires on the other two welds, which are sitting back home waiting for us. But let's go to my notes. Okay, where's my notes? Notes. No, not layout. Notes. Samsung notes. Okay. So I've made a list for assembly needs. So we'll go over. So right now we've got a couple things. We've got our tappets, our balancer bolts, our main bearings, our rear freeze plug, 3 out of the 4 side freeze plugs. So I still need that bad boy right there. I thought I had them all. I do not. But yeah, I need the front freeze plug as well. So we got head studs, rod bolts, main studs, push rods, motor mounts, main caps, the pickup tube and the bolts, injection pump return and then injector return, injection lines, rear main housing, oil cooler and the plate, the timing case, our new fluid amper, and that's just to round off a lot of this. Obviously we got pistons, rings, all that good stuff. Do not have rod bearings. Like I stated earlier, whenever I dropped it off, there was rod bearings in a box over here. I can go pull out the exact box they were in, because it says rod bearings. Where I picked them up, they are now not in there. So I've got to track down where those are at. Assembly needs. So really, we're going to do a cam retainer. So on the cam gear itself, we need a new retainer and the little bolt that goes in there to kind of hold it in a little bit better from Hamilton. Our speedy sleeve for the front and the rear on the crank, because I want no oil leaks. I want as minimal oil leaks as possible. We're going to get ourselves a billet tappet cover. We need an oil pump, a water pump, and a new thermostat, because why would you not replace those things while you got this all apart? For the front, obviously I already stated the front freeze plugs and then the heater one. We're going to do a nice oil pan on it because I like shiny things. We're going to do a catch can for all of our venting that we need. So I need to obviously catch can and some AN fittings and lines. Fuel cell in the back of the truck. Obviously that's a little bit farther down the road. A second gen starter. We need injectors. Our injection pump, which our VE is with Mr. Evan Ratcliffe with Ratman Performance. He's doing the works on it as we speak. We're going to need a turbo, which I've got enough turbos I can piece one together just to get it broke in and everything. We're going to need manifold and hardware. I have not made up my mind which one I'm going to go with yet, but I'm going to get that going because obviously parts are thin right now. We need the adapter plate dowels. So we got some dowels in the block, which I'd like to probably replace those because they're looking a little. This one looks good. This one not so much. And our adapter plate for the trans, there is no dowels in that, and there's no dowels in the trans, so I need to get something going there. The lift pump block off plate right here. Gonna need to grab one of those. We need to get our rockers machined, our coolant bypass fittings. So that freeze plug, it's got the bypass, so we need to get it fitting just like Mr. Derek got a 90 to run around here. I'm probably gonna get some new motor mounts. Want the little small oil galley freeze plug. I noticed that bad boy was missing right there. Let's see. I want to get like a, and if you guys would drop in the comments below what you used in the past, I want to get like a little dingle ball or dingleberry hone. Not for cylinders. I'm talking about for right here where the tappets go. If you guys have had one or used one, go ahead and drop the link in the comments, or if you follow me on social media or you talk to me on any other forum, or you got my number, go ahead and text me what you use and what you've liked the best, because I would really like to do that for those, just to clean them up, make sure we're good to go. Don't want to ruin any tappets. And then yeah, I've already stated both speed sleeves, but really just to get the short block together. Want to get everything to where we can set the engine in the truck, and then take the trans, and we're gonna go take it down to Springtown, Texas, and we're gonna redo some of the welding on the frame, and maybe do a couple other things, and have him make a transmission, maybe kind of fab and cut up our transmission cross member to make it fit, and then we're gonna go directly from there to a driveline shop and get it measured so we can get drive shafts and whatnot. But once we get all the parts for the engine, that's going to come along very fast, because we could do a lot. The only thing that really held us back today was not being able to find the rod bearings. That was really the major setback, because really we could have got the crank all torqued down and everything, pistons, rods, all that in, which would be a big deal. But we got a good count on everything, what we still need, and what we already have, just to kind of figure out over the next couple weeks what I need to buy and bring down here. So the next 2 weekends from right now I will be home. This next week is my weekend off, and the next week is Thanksgiving, so going home for those. And then whenever I come back, I will be bringing all the other first gen parts that I have at the house down here. The bed, I put a tarp down, so that's why it looks like there's a ton of stuff in there. There's not actually a bunch of stuff in here. It's a couple boxes with parts, and then up there is just like our transmission fluid and stuff like that. So we're gonna bring down some more first gen parts, all the other miscellaneous stuff. Cole took with him the oil cooler and the front cover and some small parts like that to take to his parts washer at work. He's gonna clean those bad boys up, and yeah. So, and at that point, once we get to a certain point, it's gonna be kind of making it look pretty, painted up, and then we will set it in the truck. So I'm gonna get a little wire wheel on a little 90-degree. I don't know, I'm probably gonna buy another Milwaukee more than likely, but I'm gonna clean up the side of the block real good before I paint it and prep it. And then all the holes I'm gonna clean out to the best of my ability. Bring a little air compressor with me and just clean everything out really well. So threads are good, they're clean, they don't have any dirt in them. That's one of the biggest things, is contamination stuff. Really want to make sure I knock that out, and so I do so we get some good quality stuff put in this engine, and we're not just wasting our time. So that's where I'm at with it. You guys didn't get to see us pulling the first gen into here. We had to bring it quite a ways. We pulled it with the OBS for like 100 yards or so. It was pretty interesting, but yeah, that's where we're at with it. Got our captain's chair in here, transmission. So we've got some stuff to do. We've got some things I can now do. So that's a lot of it's gonna involve cleaning. Like I said, I'm gonna clean all these threads up and things like that. So that's really all I've got for you for today. I truly thought it was gonna be a more eventful video, and I'm sorry that it was not. That's just how it goes. I'm gonna try to pump out some videos. I've been feeling bad that I haven't done it, and I miss doing it, because I genuinely kind of like doing some of these videos, mainly first gen videos. The other videos I really don't enjoy doing, but the first gen stuff I like to do, because I can relate to all you guys with that, because that's where all you guys came from mainly. So yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you, Cole, for coming up for a little bit, or a couple days, even though I forgot parts and don't have parts. So he helped me get the truck in here, helped me get the engine on the stand, so that we made some progress. So I can't be too mad about that. So I'm excited about that, and yeah, we're gonna leave it at that. Gonna go home, edit some video, peace out. Good luck on your guys' projects. I know it gets dark at 5 now, so try and get some motivation to go out in the barn, shop, storage unit, or whatever you can after work and knock out some stuff on your project. Winter's coming, so it's time. Race season's really over. Whatever your hobby is, it's probably coming to an end, so take advantage of it in the winter, I guess. We'll try and not freeze out here. Peace out. Let's build this 12 valve in a storage unit.